How's it going, guys? It's Ralph here from Beyond the Huddle. Today I want to take you through our weekly altcoin video. We'll be going over Ethereum and also a brand new altcoin that we haven't talked about before, known as CRV. So let's get started. So remember, when we want to look at our altcoins, the first thing we want to do is within the stage one of our analysis, we want to take a look at Bitcoin, and we want to make sure we know what Bitcoin's doing. Because me personally, I don't ever want to be a buyer of an altcoin unless Bitcoin is bullish. And if Bitcoin is bearish, like I currently am, then I have to wait for Bitcoin's resistance level to get broken. Whether that means that I miss out on a 20% gain on the altcoin or 30% of the gain on the altcoin, and so be it. That's just the way that I trade. But if you guys want to get more aggressive, you can of course still use the SMPDT. And the two coins that I'm going to talk about, Ethereum and CRV, they actually have bullish quarterly SMPDTs, which is completely different than what we have in Bitcoin. And what does that mean? So right now we open up a brand new quarterly candle, and if you take a look at this right here, the quarterly candle, you see how it's bearish on Bitcoin currently. Look at the quarterly candle on Ethereum, and look at the quarterly candle on CRV. So you see how they're bullish, so they clearly have a lot more strength, a lot more underlying strength than Bitcoin does. But the reason why we take a look at Bitcoin is because we like to use the COT to see how the institutions are positioning themselves on a week-to-week basis. If you want to know the Bitcoin breakdown, that's on yesterday's video. But essentially, they had just added longs last week. So from the 22nd to the 29th, they added longs. And right here from the 15th to the 22nd, they had added, so they added shorts here and lessened longs. And they added longs here and they lessened shorts. So I'm assuming there's some sort of important resistance that we need to be watching out for here. Hence the orange line. We hit it once, we rejected, and that's what's keeping me bearish, and now we're below the quarterly. So that suggests some more lower prices. Again, unless we can go above this. For the buy side, there's some sort of important level here that should be holding, but again, I would much rather see the bearish resistance levels get broken to the upside, and then that's when I buy. That's how I do it. So I'm not really looking for this right here. Like, yes, and I'm glad to know there's orders there, but I want to know when the bearish ones are broken. Because if not, they'll keep being used as resistance. So that's about all that we use Bitcoin for, just to get our bias. And then the next one, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Ethereum to see, well, you already know the SMPDT. I said you're above the quarterly. So if you're above the quarterly in July, it's also the monthly open. And that's a pretty big deal. Because imagine that Bitcoin wasn't bearish. If Bitcoin was bullish, we should be buying Ethereum right now. Because that suggests that then this quarter is going to be bullish, and then we're going to be using the open as support. So I understand that looking at the COT for Bitcoin doesn't necessarily, well, it doesn't at all give me it doesn't tell me that there's positions here or there's positions here for Ethereum or any other altcoin. But because the market is so highly correlated, I just draw out the boxes in every altcoin as well, and I assume that there's some bearish level there that should get respected. If that's the case, then that means that within this box right here, that's what we drew out this orange line. And we talked about this somewhere around here. And the idea was that we wanted to slam into it and then go below the quarterly. So you see, yesterday it did just that. It slammed into the orange line, which is the premium, swing high, swing low, premium. And then it started to move lower. I was like, all right, cool. Everything's fine in the world. Bitcoin matches Ethereum. They're both below their quarterly opens. But now look what happened today. A 6% move straight up. And we're trying to challenge for the weekly open. If you look at this right here, the weekly open is actually about to turn green right now. Again, another very important sign, but one that I'm going to have to stay out of, and I'm not going to be able to take advantage of because I'm bearish Bitcoin. I easily could have bought this right here, and I easily could have bought during yesterday's retracement if Bitcoin had been bullish. So unfortunately I didn't, and I can't. That's just my trading plan. But like I said, for someone who is bullish Bitcoin and who is then bullish altcoins, they would have done that. Or maybe you don't even care what Bitcoin does, you just buy whatever your TA says. So again, there's not much to say about Ethereum at the moment. It's just we're waiting on this resistance level, and more importantly, we're waiting on Bitcoin's resistance. So that's about it for Ethereum, guys. It's looking pretty bullish, I'll tell you that much. But I am not going to participate in it. Remember, for those of you that don't care what Bitcoin wants to do and you are buyers, you really want to see it break this right here. and then we should be looking pretty nice. If not, we will potentially fall back down to these levels, and that's actually what I wanted to see this quarter anyway, kind of like a beginning of quarter move lower. What doesn't have to be the beginning of the quarter, is just easier if it does it within the first month. Just, you know, nice move lower, and then we can be buyers. But with that being said, let's go take a look at the next coin, guys, CRV. Okay, so getting started on this new coin that we actually have never talked about, CRV. Let's check out what's going on. So remember, whenever you look at a brand new coin, the first thing you do is a top-down analysis. So we want to go ahead and go to the yearly chart. When going to the yearly chart, you can see we're clearly above the yearly open. And then you move next to the quarterly chart. You're above the quarterly candle, the quarterly open. But again, if Bitcoin's going to make a move lower, then you would expect this to make a move lower as well. Well, guess what? I have an alert right here. Crossing quarterly demand, look to buy. So that's actually a very important level for me. So let's just go ahead and mark it out right there. So my quarterly levels, we'll mark it out purple. So that's my quarterly demand right there. This would be quite the drop though. Yeah, 50% drop. Now, can that happen? Of course, it's crypto. Anything can happen. But you just need to be aware of what the levels are. This is quite interesting here that there's like an averaging of price. And that means that just like no bodies of candles can close below this. So that's another interesting level. And again, we're above the quarterly open. So now we can go ahead and go on a lower time frame and see kind of what closer to the market levels there is. So on a weekly right here, we don't really see anything too important, except the last level that we do see is actually a weekly supply. And that's really important because for those of you guys that want to be bullish, right now everything that we've been respecting has been bearish premiums, right? So swing high, swing low, premium, swing high, swing low. We might be running up to a premium right now. And then if we go down to your 3-day chart, here you have a 3-day supply and then another 3-day supply, right? So I'll just mark these out as zones. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we have a zone right there. We can mark that red. Here we have another zone here. And again, I'm marking out the opens to the equilibrium. That's the 50% of the body of the candle. So you have these two levels right here, and that's kind of what you have to break in order to be bullish. So even in this pair right here, right, you are seeing some strength in the averaging of price, which again, that's just one interesting thing. Obviously, any candle can just go ahead and crush it, right? And because I'm bearish Bitcoin, I would almost rather that get crushed, right? And then just hit this beautiful quarterly demand. Quarterly demands do not get hit all the time. When they get hit, guys, it is the most amazing thing ever, and you expect big aggressive moves in price. So that's what we have to look forward to here on the USDT price. If I turn bullish on Bitcoin, then I'll want to get aggressive and start to look for these levels to get broken and start to buy. Now, why am I so excited about this coin, right? That's probably the question that you guys have to wonder. Well, when you go and take a look at CRV on the Bitcoin cross, and remember, the importance of the Bitcoin cross is to see how much that altcoin or whatever you're comparing against Bitcoin is going to outperform Bitcoin by. So in this case, let me break it down for you guys. Because again, why would I want to buy an altcoin if I know that it's going to underperform Bitcoin? You might as well just buy Bitcoin. It has more liquidity and it's a safer play, right? So in this case, the yearly candle, we're above it. Great. Now, in that case, we're assuming any down move is just a continuation to be bought. Okay, that's the whole point of that. The quarterly candle is currently bullish. Great. All right. Let's take a look at the monthly candle. And that's when it gets a little bit interesting. Because if I zoom in here, you can see this big consolidation. It's been basically, when this happens in prices, guys, it's like it's building up a lot of energy, okay? It's a lot of energy just waiting there to explode, and it's going to go one way or the other, right? So you're going to go bearish or bullish. Well, I'm betting it's going to go up because we're above the yearly open, and at least for the moment, we're above the quarterly open. Now, check this out. Looking at the market here, you wouldn't really think that there's anything going on, which, by the way, we almost missed that one. There's a quarterly, monthly demand right there. Check this out. So we use that, and then let's go to the 3-day, and look at that. We hit the monthly demand to the tick. So we missed it here, went up, swing high, swing low. There's a premium sell right into the supply right here. It did go a little bit above it, but that's fine. Straight down. So this pair against Bitcoin fell 61%. And then we ended up hitting the monthly demand. We came back. We did what? We hit this 3-day demand. You see how the price, it wicked below the 50% the equilibrium of the demand zone, but the actual bodies respected it perfectly. So there's definitely some strength here going on. And what makes me excited about this coin is, look at this. When we zoom out, what do we have here? The only resistance level in this entire space, and remember, we already said this is all one big consolidation. And what happens after consolidations like this for such extended periods of time? I mean, this has been happening since the beginning of the year, right? It's been consolidating for 7 months or almost now, right? So what's going to happen next? Well, we expect a straight, well, I don't know if it's going to be a straight shot, but once I do turn bullish Bitcoin, I would love to be looking to buy CRV for about a 300% gain. That's just from current price, obviously, while it takes Bitcoin. Like, if I'm wrong about Bitcoin and I'm supposed to be buying it right now, well, I'm not technically wrong, but let's say Bitcoin takes 7% move higher for me to break that resistance level, which it does. Then by then maybe RV or CRV is up here, right? So then maybe it'll be a little bit less, but nonetheless, this is a really, really healthy amount. And remember, this 300% move higher that I expect from current price right now, that's how much it's going to outperform Bitcoin by. So if Bitcoin goes up by 60%, then I expect CRV to go up 360%. And when you look at the USDT price, you can see why it's so exciting, because we have a swing low here, then we have a swing high. Again, I would have wanted it to go a little bit lower for the discount if we draw the fib right here. You see how it barely missed the 61, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if Bitcoin turns bearish, we could see one more push lower perfectly, and that would be beautiful right into the quarterly demand. But nonetheless, I mean, if this thing can go, it can go 700%. It can go, you know, it's at least 200% back to the high here, and this thing could just pop off, and we could start to see a bunch of the yearly candles start to expand, and then maybe we'll start to see quarterly candles start to expand bullish. So that's what I have for CRV, guys. Again, pretty interesting, pretty exciting. I would love to see this hit the weekly supply right here. So if you guys liked what I had to say, if you have any thoughts about CRV, maybe you know more about the project. Again, I have no clue what the project is about. I only look at the charts and the orders of the smart money to tell me how I'm supposed to be positioning myself. So with that being said, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you guys want to get notified, press the little bell icon, share it with your family and friends, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Also, make sure you hop on Twitter and follow us there, so you get to find out on Friday what the orders and the positions of the smart money are for this week. So have a good day, guys, and we'll talk soon.